name is Olayinka Fagbemiro. I'm the national coordinator and the founder of Astronomers Without Borders in Nigeria. I'm also the Public Relations and Education Officer for African Astronomical Society. AFAS, I work with the Nigerian Space Agency for 13 years now, and I'm also a Ph.D. scholar at the African University of Science and Technology. I'm here to talk about the efforts that we are making in Nigeria to popularize astronomy, taking advantage of the dark skies that we have across Nigeria. Astronomy is relatively new in Nigeria, and there have been renewed efforts by astronomers, both professionals and amateurs, to widen the reach of astronomy education efforts across Nigeria. We have adopted the catch them young approach because we want kids to be introduced as early as possible. There are a lot of activities that we have designed that we've carried out up to today, at achieving this, and many of them have been yielding very wonderful results, because now we have kids who are showing so much interest in astronomy, and also we are using astronomy as a tool to develop STEM in Nigeria. Unfortunately, there is no curriculum for astronomy in Nigeria as of today. What that means is that at the elementary and high school levels in Nigeria, astronomy is not being taught as a subject. So most contact that kids have with astronomy within the classroom will be from subjects that STEM subjects that are being taught in school. Some of the topics, they come across in some of these subjects are astronomy-related topics, in physics, in geography, in mathematics, in basic science, and the rest. The central government is responsible for curriculum development in Nigeria, and so this has made it difficult to introduce astronomy as a subject in elementary and high schools, because the states do not have the power to introduce, to review, curriculum at this level. And even though kids encounter topics related to astronomy in as early as basic one, when they're like 6 to 7 years, but then it's very possible that a child may go through school and not have come in contact with astronomy, throughout their stay in school. This is a sad reality, and this is one of the motivations we have for taking effort to make sure that astronomy outreach is developed very well in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that's still struggling with providing adequate electricity for most of its citizens, sadly, and this is the case with most African countries as well. So this is a blessing in disguise, kind of, because we have night skies that are mostly dark, unpolluted, and so it's very easy and it's very fun to stargaze in many Nigerian community that you get to, because you're not struggling with the problem of light pollution, and even though we don't even have adequate resources, we don't have adequate devices, we don't have telescopes to take care of the kind of audiences that we deal with, because the night skies are unpolluted. It's easy to do observation with the naked eye in most parts of Nigeria. AWB Nigeria is taking advantage of this perfectly dark night skies for outreach activities in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country with over 200 million people, but sadly, we have only about 2 planetaria in the whole of Nigeria. So there is no way this is going to be enough to serve the population of people who have shown interest in astronomy, And so at AWB Nigeria, we've taken it upon ourselves to develop a very robust astronomy education outreach program, which we've done for about 7 years now. We have in fact, the main target audience for our programs are young people in elementary schools, young people in high schools, and then young people who are out of school. In Nigeria, we have millions, 13.2 million of kids who are out of school. These are kids who have been most of them are kids from the northern part of Nigeria who have been displaced by insurgency in that part of the country. And also some are just kids who, for whatever reason, are supposed to be in school, but they are not in school. So our programs involve going to schools as well as going to communities where these other kids reside. Yeah, we go out and then we set up our telescopes. I work with a team of young, committed and highly enthusiastic individuals who are from various backgrounds of STEM and even non-STEM. And the idea is we want to make astronomy as popular as possible, that even though astronomy is not being taught in the class, within the classroom, we have developed programs that are outside of the classroom, which has given kids the opportunity to learn astronomy. And then the good thing is that these efforts have been paying off in fact since inception, because we find out that astronomy is fun. Kids love astronomy. Kids are excited when they look through the telescopes. So we go out to schools, on the streets, to the refugee camps, the internally displaced people's camps. Everywhere we find kids, the idea is to keep popularizing astronomy. We're also trying to use astronomy as a tool to teach STEM, because we know that the backbone of any developmental capability for any country would be STEM. So if kids don't like STEM, if kids are not interested in STEM, then the future of that country, is very bleak. So we are trying to use astronomy as a tool, make astronomy fun, and thereby let STEM be fun to kids. This has been very exciting. I'm particularly very happy about this, because now you see kids who would, in the past would think, oh, STEM is not for me. I don't want to do STEM, is not fun and all of that. But now with astronomy, they all want to be in STEM. And this is an example of my slide is showing a dark sky. This was around, I think, 6 p.m. The good thing also with Nigerian dark sky is that from as early as most time from as early as 6 p.m., the sky is clear. You can see the stars, you can see the moon. And this also helps with our activities, so that we don't get to keep the kids out for too late. So we have programs, like I said, that have been designed, periodically, like every month, sometimes twice in a month, my team would go out on the streets. This is outside of the school program that we have with kids who are in school. The street astronomy outreach is to target the kids who are out of school. There are a lot of them in Nigeria. And so if you want to focus on school, conventional schools alone, that means you're going to be leaving behind a huge chunk of the young people population in Nigeria. Yeah, so we always do that. We go out, and then sometimes we liaise with the community head, the people in the community, the parents, and at some other time we just go on the street, and then we set up our telescope. Before we're done setting up, you see the kids are gathered around, and apart from allowing them to look through the telescope, which many of them who had need, they were seeing for the first time, we also take the opportunity to teach them, the basic stuff about astronomy, the fun part of astronomy, to let them just be encouraged to take up STEM in school. This we do from time to time. Also, we make sure to take advantage of global astronomical events to also carry out outreach activities. Global Astronomy Month, World Space Week. We have eclipses, solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, Uris Night. We always take advantage of those kind of programs to also consolidate on the programs that we have for the year in Nigeria. Also, we make sure, like I said, there are kids that are not in a conventional school. So we have the part of Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, where the insurgency, the Boko Haram insurgency, had affected them so much, and so these people have been displaced from their original communities. These people have been displaced from where they previously lived, so they now live in camps that are pretty much like refugee camps, only that these are citizens of Nigeria who are like refugees in their own countries. So in their own country. So what we do is that we set up astronomy learning hubs for these people. And because they don't have electricity, they mostly don't have access to electricity, we used solar power to power this up so that it can provide opportunity for displaced and traumatized kids to have access to astronomy in Nigeria. And what my team does is to engage with, we have this hub set up, which are permanent structures in the camp. And so we have, the kids have access to the hubs where we have computers, we have big screen, we have big screens, we have kids, we have place where kids could go inside, sit down and watch educational programs on astronomy. That we have external drive that we have put a lot of astronomy and space stuff on. And this has really been very good because the kids in these camps are really very happy because even though they are mostly not in conventional schools, they still have access to astronomy. And the program that we do, the event that we have, we mostly start in the daytime and continue into the late evenings to enable the kids enjoy stargazing. Like most time when we go daytime, we start with solar gazing. We use solar glasses. We do a lot of hands-on activities, just to get them excited. And recently we had to have a COVID-19 intervention for the kids there because these were the most hit by the pandemic situation across the globe. So my team and I, with the support of Office of Astronomy for Development, we were able to set up and wash stations for them. We gave them hand sanitizers, face masks, just so that they would be safe as they carry on with their love for astronomy. Okay, so this was from the event we had with them recently. And the good thing is that these kids are always very excited about astronomy. They want to, they are very motivated to even go to school. They are motivated they are very motivated to go into STEM. And I really hope that someday they are going to, most of them are going to grow up to be STEM experts in Nigeria. Also, like I said, we carry out astronomy activities at public places, maybe shopping mall, on the corner street, just anywhere. We are able to, to do this in different parts of Nigeria because, like I said, We don't really have problem with light pollution. So anywhere we want, we are able to set up, and people are able to um, observe the telescopes and stargaze. So we just we have people, even adults who are not kids, who are not students. When we set up a telescope at these places, you see adults even coming around because they haven't looked through the telescopes ever. So it's always very fun. It's always very exciting to have even adults get excited by some of these things that we do. So, they ask questions. My team, I have a team of scientists and engineers and astronomers who are always ready to talk to these people, to teach them, to answer their questions and all of that. And recently, we were able to organize, this was as early as last month, to organize astronomy art contest for kids, based on we've been having programs with them. So we're saying, okay, based on all these things you've seen with us, all these things you've observed the moon, you've seen the stars, you've learned about astronomy. Can you guys just come up with your imagination about space? It was very spectacular. We had a lot of entries from across Nigeria, and I have in my slide a few of the winning arts, winning paintings that we have. And the reason why we do this is because we want kids to have fun even as they learn, which is a very good thing that we've been able to do. And this has given us this has really motivated us to keep doing this. Even in the midst of the challenges we face, we don't have enough resources, we don't have government support most time, but then we just try to do the bit that we can do and hope that someday these kids, you hear kids say things about wanting to be the first Nigerian astronaut, which I think is very possible. In some years, we would have, we would have kids who will actually probably be, astronauts who are Nigerians. Also, another thing that we also do to keep this dream going is the trainers workshop that we do. What we do is that, because like I said, we have a very huge population. So because we're not, my team and I, because we are limited in terms of resources, we are limited in terms of materials, we are limited in terms of professionals on the team, we are limited in terms of human resources generally. So what we do again is that we train the STEM teachers from schools, who in turn go back to their school to train their kids and train other STEM teachers. And this is kind of produce a kind of ripple effect where we don't have to physically go there sometimes, and people are still, students and young people are still getting to learn about astronomy. Thank you so much for listening. And if you want to learn more about what we do, you can visit our website at www.awnigeria.com. Thank you.